a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Looking for your next career opportunity? How about some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned and operated Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring, and they would love to have you as part of the McFamily. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. Come join the family at McDonald's. Don't let this financial opportunity pass you by. Please visit DixonFoods.com to apply.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a Cadillac XT6. Take $6,000 off and 1.9% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty for all make and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
At Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park, or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville, or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
Tim Dowse. He's the new special teams coordinator. Well, what did you know about ECU before coming here?
Well, kind of proud myself of being a football junkie, so I know 2 things about ECU, that there's a great tradition, in particular in football around here. So that has jumped out to me. And second was Coach Houston. When his name came across a couple of years ago and I had the opportunity to meet him, I walked away thoroughly impressed with him and said, man, I've got to stay in touch with this guy. That program's going places. And that hasn't changed since I got on campus.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Gavigan Insurance, BMS Builders, The Rick House, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, and by Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Good Monday, everyone, and welcome into our show. We've got a jam-packed show for you coming up today. Cliff Godwin, head baseball coach at East Carolina, starting his 7th season, and he starts it off with a 3-game sweep over the Rams of Rhode Island. We'll talk with Coach Godwin about that great baseball weekend. Glad to see baseball back. Courtney Oliver is the head softball coach at East Carolina. She's off to a 5-1 start, so she had a good weekend as well. And Larry Williford, the head coach at Farmville Central basketball, didn't have as great a weekend because he got his seeding for the playoffs, and how the back-to-back defending state 2A champs have to hit the road from the very start. Well, we'll find out from Coach Williford. That's coming up in just a bit. Coach Godwin joins us first, and that's next right here on The Brian Bailey Show.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show. We kick things off with the head coach at East Carolina in baseball. He is Cliff Godwin, starting his 7th season. He starts it off with a 3-game sweep over Rhode Island. And, Coach, kind of puts you in a pretty good mood on a Monday, doesn't it? We got him? Coach, you there?
Bailey.
Yes.
Yep, I'm here now.
All right. I'm just wondering, it's got to put you in a pretty good mood to get that sweep, right?
Look, we love winning over here, so it's much better than losing a game or two. So we just got done with a little staff meal after when we sweep. We had a little staff meal, some food catered into the office, so it's good stuff.
That is good stuff. It was so much fun just to be out there and be a part of it. I know a lot of Pirate fans, weren't able to come, which is a real shame, and hopefully that'll start to change as we continue on through the season. But what were your emotions like on Friday when you're getting set? You guys make the decision to play Friday night. Moved it back 3 hours, but still you were going to play. But what were your emotions like having not played in so long?
It was weird, to be honest with you, kind of surreal. Just not believing it was really going to happen until you heard the umpire say play ball. A lot of emotions, So happy for our players. So happy for the fans. I know they couldn't be here, but it seems to be a lot of excitement in Pirate Nation just that our guys are back on the field, and just happy that we're back to a little bit of normalcy in our life of playing baseball.
You know, that's the thing I've always said about East Carolina baseball, the tradition that when I first got here, it started with Coach O, but there's always been this buzz, you know, when the Pirates are playing, a 3-game series with this team, 3-game series with that team. And obviously, when you don't have the fans in the stands, the buzz is a little different. But you've even got fans that are in the parking lot watching the game on TV, tailgating, just to be a part of it.
Yeah, crazy. They were just just fighting the cold elements. As we were just across the street, had a tent set up. That's really cool stuff. You don't get that everywhere. And the passion for Pirate Nation, the passion for really ECU baseball this time of the year is unbelievable and unparalleled in my opinion.
Cliff Godwin joining us, and we'll take your questions or comments on our Facebook Live page for Pirate Radio. If you'd like to get something in, I'll transfer it to the coach. Coach, let's go through the games and get your thoughts on the games. The most exciting game, obviously, was the first one, East Carolina winning at 3-2 in 10 innings. But did you expect the offense to get off to a little bit of a slow start because of the weather?
I didn't. I thought our guys looked at it's been 11 months since they played against somebody else. I thought that jitters, nervousness, trying to do too much. I mean, a lot of times offensively, when you're facing a guy that you think you should hit, then the way that guy can be very successful is if you try to do too much. I thought our swings were long. I thought we were trying to hit balls out of the park, and it's just harder to do that when it's cold and the wind's blowing in. And we really didn't execute our game plan, which is my fault. I'm the hitting coach. I told some of my buddies on Saturday that hitting coach fired. So, Chad Tracy, and he laughed at me. And long story short, I think we did a good job of making that adjustment going into Saturday and Sunday, and our guys played more like themselves on Saturday and Sunday offensively.
What are some of the mechanics you can work on when you see something like that? When you see a guy or two that maybe are taking longer cuts than what you're happy with, what do you go back and work on?
Tell them to stop swinging uphill and get on top of the baseball and try to knock the infielder down. It's not mechanically. It's just a mindset. It's like, hey, we got to get them above the baseball tonight. And you're talking about teams that hadn't been outside a ton, too, so anybody can catch a fly ball. It's much harder to catch a ground ball, especially when you hadn't been outside. And really, Rhode Island played extremely well defensively the first 2 games.
Yes.
And their coach was talking to Blake before Sunday's game and just said, look, you guys play the game the right way. You put some pressure on us, but we played really good defense. He goes, but it's going to come. He almost foreshadowed.
It did come, didn't it?
Yeah.
Have you had any games where you had 8 errors for your team in a game?
Probably. I don't know. I probably was, looking a way to. I just forgot about it. So
yeah.
One of those things that if it does happen, you just purge it from your memory and move on.
When you go back to Friday night and what you got out of your starting pitcher with Tyler Smith and your bullpen, were you really pleased with everybody's efforts, from the mound?
Brian, we talked about it before the game on Friday night, and a lot of times players can put extra pressure on themselves. They need to be perfect. And I said, look, none of us need to be perfect tonight or any given day, but we just need to pick one another up. And throughout the weekend, you saw that. So Friday night, I can't remember the order, but you had, Mayhew pitched well. A.J. Wilson got Bridgie out of the jam when it was 2-2. So A.J. picked up Bridgie, which Bridgie didn't have his best stuff. And then Saylor came in, and Cam Colmore picked him up. So we just need to pick one another up when somebody doesn't have their best stuff. And the same thing happened on Saturday. Agnos didn't have a great bat with the bases loaded with 1 out, but then Norby hits the double that clears the bases. And I think that's one thing, if we can continue to cultivate amongst our team, is everybody's not going to be perfect every given day, but we've got a deep team and we can pick one another up.
I thought that was obviously the coolest moment of the weekend was when Cam Colmore comes in. Here's a local kid from South Central. He comes in with the game on the line and a 2-0 count, which is really difficult to come in. You're already behind in the count, and he gets the double play ball. And I swear, and this is going to sound corny, I know it is, but when that happened, it almost seemed like you could look in the jungle and see guys doing the fist pump and seeing guys giving the high fives because it's like the jungle came to life in spirit, because that's what Pirate baseball is about. You guys were in a real big pickle and came out with a huge play, and then were able to go on and win the game.
Well, Bailey, that doesn't seem weird to me because I'm getting chill bumps as you're talking about it. But when we made the decision to go to Cam, look, the guy's as experienced as anybody in the country, been a 6-year senior. The thing I'd like for everyone to hear is it's not always been easy for Cam. I've told several pitchers that are younger, I don't know how many times Cam Colmore and I have met, and I said, look, I don't know if you're going to make the 35 next year, which is hard. Cam's always been somebody that I've cared about, but that was the reality of it earlier in his career. And now you're bringing that guy into a game in probably the worst situation you could ever draw up as a pitcher, making a loaded 2-0 count. Hey, coach, you want me to try to get out of this thing? And he never flinched, and so proud of him, so glad for him for that moment. He deserves it. A guy that has been an ECU Pirate way longer before I was here at East Carolina. I mean, growing up, being at the regional here in 2009. So happy for him and all of Pirate Nation that a local kid could come in there and do that.
And, it says a lot about Cam, too, because so many times, especially, with the transfer portal wide open all the time, and, if you tell a kid, hey, I don't think you're going to make the 35, a lot of kids are saying, well, I'm packing my bag and going to go find somewhere I can make the 35. And Cam didn't do that, did he?
No, that's a bad part of society, in my opinion, which, look, I'm not asking anybody to agree with my opinion, but it's the easy way out. And, Cam has not taken the easy road, and look, it's paid off for him.
It really has. All right, let's go to Game 2 now. East Carolina, after winning 3-2, that final in 10 on Friday night. Well, before we go to Game 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cold were you on Friday night?
Bales, I really don't get that cold. Now, look, I'm dressed like the abominable snowman, but I don't even move around like the players, too. So I'm sure some of the players on the bench were cold. Joey Perry got us a heater in both dugouts for the visiting team and us. I'll tell you this. I probably left the office around 11:45 or midnight. I've never gotten in my car and the windshield be frozen, so I got in my car, and I had to wait 5 minutes for my windshield to thaw out before I could drive home. So that's how cold it was about an hour and a half after the game.
The frozen tundra at Clark LeClaire Stadium, because that's about as cold as I've ever been at the ballpark. When it was brutally chilly. But the Pirates win that one 3-2, the final in 10. So you go to Saturday and the sun came out. It kind of felt like baseball all of a sudden, didn't it, with the sun out?
We hadn't seen the sun in like 10 days, so absolutely felt like baseball.
Talk about Jake's performance. Cooch Maynor getting the start, and I thought he pitched well.
Cooch is, I said this a lot this week, but Cooch is a winner. That's the reason we recruited him. A guy that knows how to get the most out of his abilities, and he just figures out ways to win and put up zeros like he normally does. And Cooch will continue to get stronger as the year goes on. I mean, historically, he pitches better as the season goes on. And, look, I thought he did a great job. He gave us a chance to win, kept us in the game, and, we were able to extend the lead later on.
And you got off to a good start with the 2 runs early, and that means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Well, look, anytime you can play from ahead, it's a lot easier than playing from behind, and we'll get behind at some point in time this year and have to rally back. But I thought all the games, you look at the scores, and they might not all have seen close games, but all the games were close early. On Saturday and Sunday, we just were able to extend leads later in the game.
All right, the only run for Rhode Island on the Saturday game was on an overthrow, and I know you went out and talked to the umpires, and we were trying to figure it out on our end. What was the call there, and what were you looking at?
Well, first off, I don't think I've ever seen that happen in 17 years I've been coaching as an assistant and a head coach, but it happened. And I told Bryson on Sunday, I said, I hope it's another 17 years before I get But it's one of those moments. I mean, really, we played really good defense. Of course, we didn't make any errors in 10 innings on Friday night. We made 2 in 1 inning on Saturday, which if we just don't make one of them, we don't give up a run there, and that's what we talked about, because we don't talk about being perfect, but just if we can limit the mistakes. But So because the guy was tagging, then you have to assume, even though it wasn't him going to move up, but because he was tagging, you have to assume that he was going to get the third, and then the overthrow scores him.
So that's what was confusing, because I thought there was a rule at one point you get the base you're going to +1, and I guess if he's tagging, is that how it works, or you're saying you have to assume the umpires have to say because he's tagging he's got third, and then the overthrow gives him home plate?
And don't get me all into the weeds with this. All I know is I felt confidently that all three of them said they had it right, and I said, hey, if all three of you guys say you got this right, I'm going to live with it. If one of them had said, hey, I know it's right, and the other two, then I would have questioned a little bit more. But once they said, hey, we've got this right, all three of us agree with this, I said, okay, let's go, let's move on.
It was a little confusing, but and you had good umpiring this whole weekend, didn't you? Local guys.
Yeah. Yep, local guys for the most part, but those guys, are some of the best umpires in the business. So I trust those guys, and of course we have a good relationship. I might get a little heated. I told Max Stokes yesterday, hey, let's really thought that ball was down to Ryder. I mean, Ryder doesn't kind of have that much emotion up at the plate unless he really thinks that ball's down and off. And so we kind of chuckled. He says, I had it a strike. I go, well, I'm just going to have to disagree with it. And we just moved on.
And Max, one of the great guys out there. I mean, he's an outstanding umpire, just a good guy, too. And he's probably the type of guy to say, Coach, I missed that one, if he thought he did. Obviously, he didn't think he did, so thought he got it right. But I think, and sometimes when you talk with umpires, isn't a lot of it about attitude? If you have a question about something, and some of these guys really handle coaches better than others?
I definitely think so. And look, I'll be the first to admit I could probably do a better job of composing myself and going in there with a little bit more tact at times. But in the heat of the moment, you've known me for a long time. Sometimes the emotions get the best of me. But I'm going to defend our players, as Ryder thanked me for last night in a text message. Because I kind of got on Ryder a little bit about he had something to say in the dugout, which I could hear at third base, and I just grabbed her and said, hey, look, you're a leader on our team, and you can't let the emotions get you. Let me handle the umpires. You handle playing the game, and you're a leader on our team. We can't have younger guys seeing you act like that, because then they'll think that they can act like that.
All right, so you go to Sunday, you've won the first two games, you've clinched the series, but as you've said a number of times, you said it a couple times this weekend, that winning games, any college baseball games are hard, sweeps are even harder, and you have to go into Sunday when you have a chance for a sweep, you really have to go for the jugular, don't you?
Belly, just look across. I would challenge everybody that's a baseball fan, especially this year with the limited draft in the major league, and the college baseball is going to be the best it's ever been. But just look around each day and look at what you would say is an underdog and how they beat somebody. I mean, Air Force beat LSU yesterday. So my point is, and there's multiple games every single day that happen that way. Miami, which is, it's a preseason ranking, but they're ranked 21st. Florida's ranked number 1 in the country, and Miami took 2 or 3 from Florida in Gainesville. So you have to play the game, and you got to play your best baseball. If not, it doesn't matter if it's Rhode Island, Duke, East Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Rhode Island. You got to play your best baseball, or you're going to have a chance to lose.
All right, Josh Thomas has written in. He's one of the guys that were in the parking lot all weekend. He wants everybody to know that all those folks were supporting the team, as you've said already. He talked about, and this is Game 3 stuff we'll talk about anyway, but the Skylar Brooks moonshot, he says, as far as he knows, it's the third time a ball's ended up on Charles Boulevard. Was his home run maybe the longest ever?
It's tough to say. Jeff Palumbo was saying that it might be the farthest one he feels like that he's seen. Definitely the farthest one in the daytime. Bryson's home run against Quinnipiac in Game 1 against Quinnipiac, right-handed, was a bomb too. Those are the most two recent. But when he hit it, it was kind of one of those moments for me. I was like, oh my, wow, that's pretty cool. So he definitely got all of it. I think it was 109 miles an hour off the bat, 412 feet. Pretty special when you can hit a ball that far and that hard.
We were talking about it at breakfast this morning. Tommy Easton, when he was just starting as an assistant, and Keith LeClaire sent him out there to show somebody how to hit a home run, and he put one over on. But that wasn't in a game; that was in batting practice. I guess a lot of guys can do it then, but that was a moonshot. That ball was.
I wouldn't say a lot of guys can do it in BP. Tommy could put on a show back when I was playing here, and I think Tommy's maybe 8 years older than I am, so he when he was coaching, he could still take VP and put him over there.
He's something else now. He could hit it. All right, the key to the 12-4 win, obviously Rhode Island made a whole bunch of errors, but you guys came out, and I thought the most impressive part of Game 3 was you guys just came out and just took care of business.
Really proud of our guys to just show up and compete. And, Carson got in the jam in the third inning, which was good for him. Of course, as a coach, you just want him to go out there and strike out everybody.
Yeah.
But he's got to handle some adversity. That's the thing that we're eager to see. Obviously, the stuff's there. He's got a chance to be very special, but I think he walked a guy with one out. Next guy pushed bunts and then gave up a couple hits, and now it's first and third, one out, and it's a 3-2 game. And how he wiggled out of that. I think he struck out one guy, got a guy pop up, and then went back out fourth and struck out the side. He got to his pitch count, 74 pitches. His pitch count was 80. But to be able to handle that, because that's going to happen. I mean, I can remember being back at Vandy. David Price pitched on Sundays for us part of the year. Of course, electric stuff as a freshman, but still, it was when you're playing tough opponents. I mean, they got good players too, and Rhode Island had a veteran lineup. I thought our pitching staff really handled them well to have a lot of seniors, some redshirt seniors in there, because those guys have been through the trenches in college baseball. Even if you're a talented freshman, it's just harder to maneuver through that. So I was really proud of Carson the way he handled that.
I've got another comment coming in about the ESPN Plus broadcast and on ECUPirates.com. Said it would be awesome if this was done post-COVID. I think the plan is going forward to have all ECU baseball games streamed in some form or fashion, throughout the next coming years, right?
Well, it's not all of them. That's the thing that I think some fans were a little bit upset for Saturday's game.
Yeah.
Saturday's game because of women's basketball, and it could be women's lacrosse and whatever games on ESPN Plus, but basketball takes precedent over baseball. All of basketballs do, as does football. But you don't have every sport going normally like we do right now, other than football this spring because of COVID. So the broadcast is on ECUPirates.com. I think we only have 7 more games like that. You'll only have like the one camera angle, but we're glad that a lot of our games are on ESPN Plus.
Pirates get the sweep this weekend. Next up is nationally ranked Duke, Tuesday, 4 o'clock, Clark LeClaire. So this is a really big game in state very early in the season.
They're all big, Bales. They're all big. So quick turnaround for us to get prepared for a great team. Coach Pollard does an unbelievable job with Duke, and we'll need to come out and be ready to go.
I know after Friday night you said you juggled, and you did juggle your lineup for Saturday, trying to space out some of your boppers with some of your what do you call them, just swing hitters or whatever. But I knew you wanted some smash and some flash.
Yeah, you have rabbits in there with the turtles that can hit the ball out of the park.
All right, that's a better way to put it. Yeah.
Get Lane Hoover back to where he should have been. I guess Coach Godwin's an idiot, So.
Man, this has gone really, really well. I got to get you out of here before I ask you one of those questions that you look at me sideways on. Going forward with the Duke game, I mean, how important is it for these guys that are in state and they know how big baseball is in this state, and to get a chance to play a team like Duke early, it's got to mean a lot to them.
Well, Duke has come so far since I played, back in the day, and what Coach Pollard's done there. I mean, look, no offense to Duke back then, but we were a lot better than Duke back when I played, and we would a lot of times handle them fairly easy. That's not the case now. They are a regional, super regional team, and they are well coached. They have players from all over the country. They're very talented. They do a great job recruiting, and they do a great job of getting their guys to buy into their philosophy. So we'll have our hands full tomorrow for sure.
All right, before we let you go, one comment about the LeClaire Classic. This year it'll be East Carolina, Appalachian State. It'll be a little bit of a different LeClaire Classic, but I know what that weekend means to you. And will the LeClaire family come, or because of COVID they won't come? What's the scoop on that?
I don't even know. I haven't asked Lynn about it. She actually texted me this morning, congrats on the sweep. So she's always worried. She's more worried about me than probably most people are. She cares about my health, and she knows, look, she lived it with Coach LeClaire,
right.
How much, not just me, but the coaches and what the strains it puts on their family and the sacrifices that coaches make. I'm not look, I'm single, so look, it's easier for me than Jeff and Dietz, who are married, have families. Austin Knight, Blake, Colby. So, but she knows the stresses that are put onto coaches during this time of the year.
And she's an angel on earth, Lynn LeClaire, that's for sure. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the sweep. Good luck tomorrow against Duke.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Cliff Godwin, head baseball coach at East Carolina. Big start for Pirate baseball with the 3-game sweep. Big game tomorrow against those Duke Blue Devils. We'll take another commercial break right now. We will come back. Courtney Oliver, head softball coach, joins us, and we'll talk about this smaller diamond next on the Brian Bailey Show.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and this is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, north of the airport on Highway 11 in Greenville. The Pirates beat Rhode Island yesterday 12-4 to complete a 3-game sweep to open the baseball season at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Zach Agnos knocked in 3 runs to lead ECU. The Pirates will host Duke tomorrow at 4. Joe Dooley's Pirates are scheduled to go to Tulsa Saturday for an AAC battle at 7 o'clock against the Golden Hurricane. ECU has not played since February the 6th due to COVID issues. The Pirates are 8-8 and 2-8 in the American. Yesterday in the AAC, number 6 Houston took care of Cincinnati, blew them out 90-52. The 38-point beatdown is the worst loss for UC in 10 years. One other AAC game yesterday, USF defeated Temple by the final of 83-76. Kinston's Damian Dunn did not play again yesterday for the Owls. Also yesterday in the top 25, number 3 Michigan 92 and number 4 Ohio State 87. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico. A huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach.
For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville, and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half-gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. There's something special about the first bite of a Bojangles Cajun Filet biscuit. Like an edible alarm clock that slaps you awake with bold Cajun flavor. The moment you sink your teeth into that soft, fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit, then strike gold with a juicy piece of fried chicken, you'll know. Nothing beats the first bite. Except the second first bite. Get a Cajun Filet biscuit combo for just $4.99. It's bow time.
Villa Verde on 10th Street, Greenville's only Dominican restaurant, now features a brand new lunch menu, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Choose from your favorites like the Villa Verde Burger, the Veggie Burger, the Cuban Sandwich, the Dominican Club, the Villa Wrap, the Vegetable Sandwich, the Big Papi Steak Sandwich, or create your own bowl, all with your choice of side and a drink for under $10. If you're looking for a high-quality, healthy, and affordable lunch, Villa Verde is your place. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Monday. Our double dip from the diamond continues now with Courtney Oliver, the head softball coach at East Carolina. She's off to a 5-1 start, sweeping Furman on the first weekend 7-1 and 12-4, and then going 3-1 down at Coastal Carolina from over the weekend. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
When you look at your ball club, has anything surprised you so far? Are you really happy with the 5-1 start? Should you be 6-0? Take us through that. What are your expectations?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way that we've came out. I'm really surprised with the offense, our offensive numbers that we have. I'm not surprised about our defense, and we've got a lot of experience that returned this year. So pretty much our entire starting infield is back, and we have a lot of experienced hitters, and our pitchers are doing a great job. So Coastal was a good team, and we obviously don't want to lose in any game, but I think we ended up with a split. We made some adjustments, came back, and got the win in game 2. So overall, we're pretty pleased with what the squad's doing.
Is that especially hard when you get blown out by a team and you got them right back and you're at their place, and as you said, you made some adjustments, and obviously they all worked because you came back and blew them out in that second game at Coastal. But is that difficult?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just got off to a bad start in the first game, and a lot of it were just a couple of bad pitches. And I think the one thing that we told the team was just control the controllables, and we have control over defense, communication, and sticking to our game plan at the plate. And they certainly did. At no point did they ever think that they weren't the better team. I think it was just flipping the mindset and actually having discipline to do what it is that we need to do to win the ball game.
How hard, Coach, has it been for you with the COVID protocols and everything? I asked the question knowing how difficult it's been for everybody else, but have you guys had a lot of problems? Have you gotten through it pretty easily?
Yeah, everybody's going to run into problems here and there with quarantine, and I think it's just about educating our program and our players, and that this is a weird year, and we have to take extra precautionaries just to make sure that we can play. And there's a lot of sacrifices that both the coaching staff and the players have to have in order for us to have a season. And I think that's the number one goal, is that we want to play as many games as we can. So I'm really impressed with our players and how that they've handled it. Knock on wood, we've been pretty fortunate thus far since we came back, and they continue to wear their masks and socially distance and do everything that we ask of them.
Take us through your emotions last March when you guys were first finding out that the sports world was basically going to come to a halt, that your season was going to end. It was so surreal. Some of the things I remember trying to come out and get interviews, and then it was like, you can't have interviews, you can't get in front of anybody, you got to do Zooms, and it was all just, it happens so fast, and it just was just surreal in so many ways. But what was it like for Courtney Oliver?
Yeah, we first talked about it, I feel like it all happened within like a matter of 7 days. It was talked about a lot. Our last trip was in California last year, and we were just starting to hit our stride, and we were starting to see our team come together and their identity, and we were really excited about that. And then we were supposed to host at home, and next thing I know, I'm on the phone with the Rutgers coach, and they got pulled on the road. Like, they had to turn around and go back, and the American was one of the last conferences to kind of cancel the season or suspend the season. So we were trying to stay hopeful, but it was definitely a different time, and I think my heart went out to our seniors, because at that point we didn't know if they were going to get another year of eligibility back, and it was very confusing. Nobody's ever gone through that.
Yeah, and it was just the season ends, and I've said this a number of times, because I get on a soapbox talking about how disappointing it was not having sports around, and I think we all understand how serious it has been. We don't make light of anybody that catches the disease, that hospitalized. There's been so many deaths, but really it kind of took a lot of lives. We all changed all of a sudden, and for coaches who their job is to coach day in and day out, and then you got nobody to coach. It had to be like a shot in the face. It had to be like a real jolt.
Yeah, it definitely was. Not being able to see our athletes, and I think as coaches, we love being around our team just as much as family. It is our own family, and for us to not see our kids from March to September, it was really hard. And you get out of routine, and it puts a lot of things in perspective. And I think when we came back, we had such a bigger appreciation for the game and what us being around, and it's a privilege to be able to play. We get to play. It's not like we have to play a doubleheader. their mindset is much different now because they understand, and especially our upperclassmen. Most upperclassmen understand that it's their last game by the time that they're a senior, but now everybody kind of got that feeling of, wow, this game could be taken away from us at any moment. So I think it just put a lot of it in perspective for us.
I asked this question to a lot of coaches, but did you ever know what Zoom was before this thing hit?
I did know what it was.
Did you?
Did not know how to use it.
I still struggle with it sometimes, but I had no idea that technology even existed, and I can still remember looking at it the first time, going, "Okay, somebody's going to pop on this screen. I'm going to talk to them, and where's the microphone? Where do I put the microphone on at?" And you don't even do that. You just kind of look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But without the Zooms, it's hard. And I've been really fortunate in doing the coaches shows with Brian Meador that we're able to go over there, and we're not in the bubble, but we're kind of adjacent to it and getting interviews that way from time to time. But it's really been different with Zooms and press conferences after games on Zoom, and it's just, I don't know. I'll be glad we get back to normal and holding a microphone in front of a coach and asking questions that way. But I guess we've got a little time before that's going to happen, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. It's definitely not my favorite when I have to have a Zoom with the entire team, because usually when we have team meetings, they're in front of us. We could see if they're, that they're normally looking, they're paying attention, but you got all these squares on the screen, and you're like, did you hear me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I don't know.
It's almost like the old Brady Bunch show when everybody pops up on the screen like that, and he's trying to figure out where Alice is. But and it's just so different, for having a team meeting like that and trying to, because part of coaching is being one-on-one with a player and looking in their eyes and trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it absolutely is. It's communication is really big for us, and it's different, but I like to think that we're doing things the right way, the best way that we possibly can, while keeping the players and coaches safe.
East Carolina softball coach Courtney Oliver joining us. Her squad is 5-1 on the year, playing at Charlotte coming up on Wednesday. What do you know about the 49ers ball club?
Yeah, they've picked up quite a few transfers. We're watching film on them as we speak right now, and they're going to give us a game, and we're feeling pretty good right now. I think we're in a good spot offensively, and we're going to go out there and we're going to play East Carolina softball, and we'll get a good result in the end.
Talk about your pitching staff a little bit. Drop some names for us and who you're counting on this year.
So far, right now, Kama Woodle has been doing a phenomenal job for us. She's 3-0. She is a transfer from NC State last year. She just got going, started hitting her stride, and this year she's made a lot of improvements. So she's going to be somebody that you see a lot. Erin Pepping is a familiar face, has thrown a lot for us. She's done a great job in relief this season, keeping the ball down, striking people out when we need it. And then we've also got Whitney Sanford, who is also another familiar name, coming in and doing some relieving, along with Logan Estes, who was a freshman last season, who had a really good freshman campaign. And we're looking forward to her doing what she does best, because she's a pitcher hitter, and she also plays the outfield for us. So she's a big part of our lineup, but an intricate part of our pitching staff.
Is that a key when you're watching your pitchers, to have someone in the bullpen that throws maybe a little differently than the one, that's starting? For example, somebody that moves the ball a little bit more, doesn't throw as hard, trying to keep, batters, off their pace and off their stride. Is that something you're always thinking about?
Yeah, our pitching staff, they all kind of complement one another, and when we pair them up, who comes in, Erin Pepping is predominantly down in the zone, and so she's great in the closing role to come in relief for somebody like Kama, who's up in the zone, or Logan Estes, who's up in the zone. So we try to recruit players that will complement other pitchers on staff.
Does up in the zone mean fastball, rise ball type thing, and down in the zone mean more breaking ball, drop ball type thing?
Yeah, down in the zone is more drop balls, drop curves, change ups. Up in the zone is rise, or if they're cutting screw or curve up.
Have you seen pitchers that can they start learning a pitch and start mastering it with different techniques, and you see them kind of grow?
Yeah, absolutely. When they get here, we tweak things. I mean, for the most part, you know, when we're recruiting a player, they're pretty fundamentally sound. But when they get here, you know, sometimes we develop new pitches, or you know, we make tweaks to something that they do well already and make it even better.
All right, you had the American Player of the Week last week in Bailey Ledvina. She goes against Furman 5 of 8, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 5 runs. So she put on a good performance, and she was awarded for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bailey came out. Bailey is one of the hardest working kids on our team, and you love to see somebody that puts in all the extra work and does things right on and off the field get rewarded for that. You know, it was really cool to see her relax and be confident in her craft, in which she puts a lot of time to be good at.
All right, your team's at Charlotte on Wednesday, and then you come back home for the Pirate Invitational, and that's a lot different this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So the Pirate Invitational this year is down to a 3-game series, since we won't be hosting any multiple team tournaments. But you know, I think it's going to be great. It's going to get us in a mode to kind of compete against a team 3 times, similar to what we would do in conference. Even though in conference we went to a 4-game series for this year, but yeah, same opponent, but you know, we're still going to get some quality games in.
So you're playing 3 games against Ohio for the Pirate Invitational.
Correct.
Okay, and then you're at Campbell coming up the next week. The conference play, you said it's like baseball. You guys are going 4-game series.
Correct.
Do you have a day where you're going to do your doubleheader? Would that be the first day like baseball is?
Yes, we're going to do it the Friday of the doubleheader. It just makes sense to do it that way because of weather.
Yeah, I mean, and that's got to be the other big question mark. And I meant to say this when Cliff was on with us, but the job that Joey Perry and those guys did on the baseball field, I mean, that was because it has rained and rained and rained some more. I mean, the animals were starting to line up by twos. It had rained so much, and it's just one of those things that if you don't have guys that know what they're doing with their fields, I mean, it can be a real mess. So I'm sure your field looks good too, right?
Absolutely. Joey's the MVP. Every day he'll get us a text, and he'll give me a hard time when I forget to tarp, but it's because of Joey that we can get on the field and practice. So, you know, he really is the real MVP, making sure that we have ability to practice on and letting us know. I sure appreciate him, because without him, my field might never be tarped.
I'm telling you, I just can't believe that we have baseball, we have softball right now with all the rain that we've had, and then from the middle of January on, I mean, it's just been crazy as far as the rain goes. But hopefully some of that's behind us. Spring is just around the corner. Hopefully these vaccines, they'll get going, and maybe we'll get back to normal. Coach, good luck the rest of the season. We certainly appreciate your time. Your girls off to a 5-1 start. We're looking forward to watching them play this year.
Thanks so much, Brian, for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Courtney Oliver, the softball coach at East Carolina, joining us on this Monday on the Brian Bailey Show. We'll take another commercial break right now. Coming back, we will talk high school basketball. Larry Williford and his back-to-back defending state champs are getting set to hit the road, and we'll tell you why. Coming up next, right here on the Brian Bailey Show.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely, and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-styled restaurant and bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and the best burgers around. Check out the spicy mahi risotto or the bourbon pecan salmon. Wednesday night is date night. 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Thursday is ladies' night with $5 martinis and special apps. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The Rick House.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Your future is yours to create, and with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL@ECU.edu.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is Stephen Igo, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. We roll on. The high school basketball state playoffs will begin on Tuesday night, and the back-to-back defending state 2A champs from Farmville Central will begin what they hope is a long, month-long road trip, because they are seated 9th as far as the 2A boys is concerned. Larry Williford, their excellent coach, joins us. And Coach, take us through the seeding process and how you found out and how you feel about it.
It's just a random draw. They predetermined the East and the West this year due to the pandemic. So we knew there was 10 2A conferences in the East, that there was going to be 10 conference champions that would get the one seed out of their conference. And, they put them all in a bucket and drew names, and, we got the short end of the stick. But we're going to play who they say we got to play, and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
When you look at it, and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, it takes a lot of abuse with different ideas, because at one point there were max preps and they would do some kind of formula to seed everybody. In the past they've had the brackets preceded with the number one from this conference would play the number 3 from that conference. Why wouldn't they go back? I know this is a weird year, and I know that there's so much that's been going on, but why wouldn't they go back to just go back to the brackets if they didn't want to do a formula because teams weren't playing the same number of games and the COVID? Why wouldn't they go to a bracket that was predetermined? And that way you would have, because you shouldn't have to play a really, really good team your first round.
I can't answer that question, Brian. I wish I could. And I know that.
I thought you were gone.
Involved in it than me. I've always tried to focus on things we can control, and that's something we can't control, and that's what I've tried to tell our basketball team. They were excited about who we drew in the bracket, so that was good enough for me yesterday when I sent out the group chat who we were playing. Not one player had a negative comment towards of not being at home. Because any other year we would have been at home throughout at least the first 3 or 4 rounds. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. So we're going to get in there today and get ready for Hartford County and see if we can go down there and get one on the road.
Now what's Turquavion's status right now?
100% ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Because I was told, and I didn't see it, but was he ejected the other night, and did he have to sit out 1 game or 2 games, or did he have to sit out at all, or was he ejected?
No, he was not ejected. He was disqualified. So when you receive 2 technical fouls, it's the same thing as receiving 5 fouls. You're just disqualified from the game.
Okay.
There's only certain criteria that can eject you from a game: biting, fighting, spitting. It's clearly outlined what is an ejectable offense.
Okay, and it's kind of confusing at times when you see that. And I can see how some people have gotten confused, but it just got back to me that maybe he had to miss 2 games. I didn't know if he missed the North Pitt game or not, and then I figured I'd have you on and we could ask you. So that's good. He's ready to rock and roll. And how about the health of everybody else? You guys, pretty healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you head into the playoffs, if you ever want to think about having a chance to win a state championship or go deep in the playoffs, you got to be A, really good, B, healthy, and C, lucky. So right now, I believe we're a really good basketball team. We're a veteran basketball team. We're healthy. We got everyone available. Now we just need a little bit of luck on our part.
At Hertford County, what do you know about the Bears?
Well-coached team. Coach Simmons has been there, seems as long as I can remember. I think over 30 years. Well-respected coach. Does a great job. Got everyone back from a team that went to the Elite Eight last year. They haven't lost a game. We were scheduled to play them in the non-conference because we really try to schedule tough in the non-conference.
Right.
We knew Hertford would be a great test, and through quarantines and everything, we were not able to get that game in. They were supposed to come to our place, so now we're going to return the favor and head up there and play them.
All right, if things play out, you win your game. And I know coaches hate to look ahead, but that second game, it looks like a doozy, doesn't it?
I think the whole bracket looks like a doozy. I don't have much sleep since those brackets come out.
I can see why, because you look down this list and there are just everywhere you look there's a team you say, oh, they're really good. Oh, they're not bad. Oh, they're really good. I mean, it's just and the 2A basketball. I mean, I've always thought that you guys can play with anybody in the state. The 4A powers. I mean, the Farmville Centrals and the Kinstons of the world, they can play right with those guys, can't they?
Yeah, and there's a lot of, especially this year, it's a lot different than a lot of other years where you have a few top-heavy teams in the 2A bracket. The 2A East is loaded. Mm-hmm. And there's teams that people don't really know a lot about that are really good. St. Paul's is a really good basketball team. They play, a couple hours away from us. Hertford County, we knew was going to be a really good team this year. They had everyone back. They're undefeated. South Granville, obviously. Anytime you've got an ACC signing on your schedule, there's four ACC signees in the 2A East bracket.
Wow.
Pass at Reedsville.
Yeah.
Kid at South Granville's going to Louisville. Bobby Pettiford, Don Trez at Kinston, Traquavian at NC State, and we're all in the same upper bracket. All of us are in the 18 pod.
Wow.
So it's going to be some good basketball if you're a basketball fan.
There's going to be some good basketball. Now, the one advantage that I think you'll have, not that it's an advantage, but you're not going to see hostile crowds on the road, because that can make a difference in the game, and you're not going to see that.
No, and playing on the road has been it's been unique this year. You got to bring your own energy. It's quiet. You say one crossword, the referee hears it. It's been a learning experience for, I think, all the teams. And it's also, I'm going to say it's negated the home court advantage, but it's muted it some.
Yeah, I'd say.
It's not the huge factor. If you come to our place on a Friday night, if you're not ready, you might get ran out of the building, and that's not the case this year with only 25 people sitting in the stands.
And I've said this a couple of times that I was so thankful that sports returned and that we're getting a chance, to do some things. But I really miss the crowds. I miss the crowd this weekend at Clark LeClaire Stadium. I miss going, half the fun of going to a high school game, a big game, Farmville Central playing on a Friday night, a Rose South Central or Rose Conley or game, in the county. I mean, and all over Eastern North Carolina. The fans make it, so much, the students, that support their team, because some schools don't have that. Obviously, you do at Farmville Central, but some schools don't have that. But I've missed all. I'd be glad when we get everybody back in there and pack those gyms, and I'm sure your athletic budget will appreciate it too.
Yes, I will say I've been shocked at how well our student athletes, not just in basketball but across the board, have embraced just playing, regardless of the crowds. I was a little reluctant heading into the season. I didn't know what to expect with our basketball team. When you play at a place like Farmville Central, where it's nothing to see 500 people lined up outside before you open the ticket gate for a big game, then to have this type of atmosphere, I wondered where we would be at. Would we be able to play at a high level without the crowd there? And it's never been brought up one time. And I think that's a testament to our kids and just how hungry they were to get back to some sense of normalcy.
All right, now as a coach, what do you do as far as the COVID now in the playoffs? I mean, I don't. You guys aren't testing, but if somebody comes up and has symptoms, are you guys, they're not going to move a game for you. I mean, if you can't play, I guess you're out, right?
You pray.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean, it's nothing you can control. It's been very strange knowing that it can happen, and it cannot happen with any. Your team can do everything the right way, and you can still get popped on the other side from the other team.
Right.
So that goes into the luck aspect. Are you lucky enough to stay healthy?
Yeah.
Your team and the teams you've played throughout it, because I think you'll see more teams, popping a positive test and affecting. If they step on the court and they play, it affects both teams.
Farmville Central and Hertford County in the first round, and if everything plays out, South Granville for Farmville Central in round 2. Larry Williford joining us on this Monday. Coach, stay safe, stay healthy, and best of luck to your Jaguars, because you've got an outstanding team, and hopefully you've got a long road run ahead of you.
Thank you, Brian. Look forward to talking to you in the future.
Appreciate it. Larry Williford at Farmville Central. We'll take our final commercial break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show here on Pirate Radio after this. BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
This is what you want. This is how you get it. For less during Bostic Sugg Furniture's President's Day sale. Beautiful furniture at historic savings up to 15% off. All in stock. Custom orders, bedding, and clearance up to 15% off. Plus 12 months special financing or 60 months special financing. Step up to better sleep on a comfortable Restonic mattress and get a free box spring. It's a President's Day sale not to be missed. Going on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
First came the PCC location, then came the ECU location on Jarvis Street. Now introducing the newest store at 10th Street at the Food Line near Walmart. It's Angus Grill 3. 3 restaurants featuring all of your favorite burgers and more. They've got your classic Angus, steak burger, brisket burger, black and blue burger, sweet sriracha burger, jalapeno popper burger. You get the idea. Now 3 options for the best burger in town. Angus Grill at PCC, Angus Grill at ECU, and now Angus Grill at 10th Street in the Food Line Shopping Center. It's Greenville's best burger, times 3.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, let's wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. I tell you what, we had a great show. Cliff Godwin, the head baseball coach at East Carolina, the sweep this weekend, and nationally ranked Duke in town tomorrow. Baseball season is here in Greenville. Courtney Oliver, the softball coach, I want to thank her for being on with us. And Larry Williford, really enjoyed listening to his side of the story with the bracketing and the high school playoffs. And his Farmville Central Jaguars have a lot of road games ahead of them if they continue on. But they've got a very good team, and we think they will. Join us next week for another edition of the Brian Bailey Show. Have a great sports week, and we'll see you back here then. Good night. I will say good night, everybody.
This has been the Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Gavigan Insurance, BMS Builders, The Rick House, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagelin, and by Tiebreakers.
Join us next time for another edition of the Brian Bailey Show.